you got to think about that. There are wallets, there are controlling wallets in every single coin that can send any coin near zero.
I want to talk about this BankX thing just a little bit more. So we don't have to get into the weeds too much, but so basically, if you guys are late to the party on this one, BankX was a silver. Basically, I forget how they actually pitched it. Basically, a stable coin that was a derivative of where silver is sitting price wise. There's some guy named Lance, I guess, that was in charge of the whole thing. So they got sent it was 800 million hex, correct, from the Godwill. There he is, Johnny
like
Chaos. Welcome
Johnny
in.
Chaos, welcome. Yeah, it was like
Hey,
800.
gentlemen.
I think it
Good
was
to
like
see you.
880 million.
Yeah.
820, 830, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So that's where we stood. I think they sold a little bit of it off. And then we saw the other day, this was on Monday, that Lance, whatever, somebody involved with BankX basically staked the whole thing or most of the kit and caboodle anyway for like 34 days. I'm going to kick it to
Put it
Johnny
into
first.
3 wallets, 200,000 or 200 million in each wallet, and they're doing rolling stakes. Like, I don't know, like Hex was designed to do.
Yeah.
Right. So we're actually teaching them how Hex works, and they're actually learning that you can't just tap the sell button or you get the worst possible price.
Yeah.
So actually, this is a good thing because they're now learning how the system works. After doing those rolling stakes long enough, they might say, wait a second here.
Let's go a little longer, right?
maybe I don't want to sell it right now, because if they were to sell it right now, they get $1 million. Yep. They lose 9 million right now.
Yep.
If they were to sell it. Okay. So if they're scammers, that's exactly what they'll do. And the next day, boop, like it never even happened. It's only 2 days of the adoption amplifier.
Yeah.
We had 500 million come off 365 days, man. 500 million every single day. If you think about it, let's say they sold at full market value. That's $10 million. What do we do in daily volume?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's not as big of a deal as people think it is. And unfortunately, the new guys, they just hear 800 million, oh my God, and they can't fathom that amount of number. Well, and here's the thing. You think you're safe somewhere else? No. There's whales in every single coin that can wreck the price at a whim.
Yeah.
Right? Temporarily wreck the price at a whim. You know, and people don't realize that. That is something they need to be educated on. You can't be Chicken Little and duck for cover every time somebody's going to make a sell. You know, and this is a problem. And look, you know, we've got people in the community that are good people, okay? And they're scared. And then their fear projects on other people. But you got to remember, every one of us, we're just human beings. You know, we're going to react with, you know, certain ways. And when you are panicked, you are not thinking rationally. You know, that's when you're going to make the biggest mistakes, is because you're already in fear mode, right? Yeah. Now, as streamers and as community members, it's kind of our responsibility to let people know, okay, I understand that you see that as a lot of money, and I understand, yes, it can temporarily wreck the price, but if you're staked out for a year, you need to worry about a price a year from now, not what's going to happen on the 5-minute chart.
Yeah.
You know,
well, and Silver didn't do us any favors. I know he's way deep into this, right. But his post really kind of created a lot of fear as well. So, as much as I respect his opinion, he's got to be careful about things like that, you know, because that creates a chain reaction of events that isn't good.
Yeah, well, it can, because of this stuff. And you know, I got a little harsh because I was kind of on my tangent about other people, and I said, you know, unnecessary fear. But the thing is, this thing bothers him. It does bother him, and he's projecting that to the community as where we've all seen it before. This is not the first time there was hundreds of millions of hex dumped.
Right.
We started with hundreds of millions hex dumped right out the gate when Nightly Crypto decided to take a shit on us, right? 150 million emergency unstaked it, sold 90 million one sell market dump. In Hex's infancy. If it was any other coin, that would have destroyed it. So these dumps, these large dumps that we sustain through, don't show you weakness. They show you strength. How do you know how strong something is if it hasn't been battle tested, right? And that's what we've seen over and over again. When we had that first initial dump, it was like 200 million hex, and the price went dead, bloop, like it never even happened. Not that long ago, we had a 200 million hex dump. Okay, and when you are in the chain, and I had to stop doing it. I had to stop doing it myself because I get into the chain analysis and I start seeing people making stupid moves, and I'm thinking to myself that I'm not doing a good job of educating people, and I'm taking it all personal because I'm like, how are they doing this stupid shit? It's like, am I not loud enough? Am I not, projecting enough? What's going on? And then I think, look, I got like 24,000 followers.
Yeah.
I don't have a stream.
Can't be
responsible. And there is over 300,000 hex holders. They don't even know who I am. I'm taking this shit personally. They don't even know who I am. And if they did listen to me, they probably ignored me anyway. And that isn't my problem. So all I can do is focus on the people that want to listen.
Yep.
And, I like Silver. I think he's a cool guy. I learned a lot from chain analysis and stuff from him. The problem we have is people are psychologically default fear, right? And that is for survival purposes, right? And that's ingrained into our essence that we're default fear. And in the fear of the unknown is the biggest, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen until it does. So your mind is going to start filling in the blanks negatively, and that is just human. That is just human. That's survival. That is human, and you have to fight that shit with all your life if you're going to survive, because in this space, because the fear is around every corner. The fear is around every single corner. This is nothing new. This has all happened before.
Yeah, especially this time in the market. This time in the cycle, anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, it's really nothing for people to get worked up about, but unfortunately, the greener they are, the more unsure they are.
Yep.
Because they've not lived through it before, right? The first time you get into a fight, you are nervous as hell. But if you win the fight, then you get a little confident, right? And let me tell you, you guys have taken the biggest ass whooping that you could possibly take in this space right now. And if you can survive this, you can win any fight.
Yeah.
So hang in there. Hang in there. Don't let people get you worked up.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, it is a fact that, people will do more to avoid pain than they will to attain happiness or go after their goals or anything like that. So they're going to check the fear box first before anything else. And another point about what you just said, Johnny, is like on these other chains, because all the time, all these chains are going to have to deal with like dumpage from whales and things like that. Keep in mind on pretty much any other one of these chains, we're seeing a lot of people talk about like Optimism and Arbitrum and all this other crap right now, Aptos and New Layer 1. The people that are dumping there are people that collected all these tokens at a severe discount to what you bought. So, these people have even more incentive to dump and dump even quicker because they got these tokens at a discount before they were even on the market or anything like that. It's a way, way, way more dangerous space than this. BankX may still do it eventually. Who knows? But they were gifted the tokens.
Let me throw one out for you here. What if Godwill gave it to them so they would dump it so that he could buy it all back at a discount and still own a controlling stake in their BankX?
I've heard that too. Yeah.
Think about that for a second. You get to sacrifice $10 million and you get to buy it back for $100,000 because they dump it, and you still have a $10 million stake in their BankX.
Yeah.
Because you literally purposefully gave it to somebody you knew who was going to dump it, because they did have a cap on how much. I mean, literally, he controls it. They had a cap on how much he could sacrifice, and he took a majority of it.
Yeah.
So he has the controlling interest in that particular company. Now, whether or not it succeeds or not, it's not the point. But if you give somebody $10 million and then they give you all your money back, it's like you never even lost it.
Right.
That's pretty damn smart play. And if everybody's scared right now and nobody else buys it, he wins because he gets to buy it all back while everybody else is scared.
Sure.
Right. So
Well, the other
pretty unique play. So, you know, I don't like the fact that people have been badgering the God whale. You don't know what his motives are or reasons why he does things. Right.
Right.
But I mean, that's just one type of speculative play. And we know, look, God whale's got a stake in this too. He wants to protect his price.
Sure.
Okay. So, but that's pretty funny if you think about it. Just give it away to somebody you know who's going to dump it, and then you end up with it back anyway and still have the controlling interest.
Or, you know what? He still has a lot of hex left, even with that 800 million. What if he dumps the 800 million on the Pulse side? Nobody said anything about that.
Right.
He could easily do something similar on that side of the chain too. So there's no guarantees what his true motives are.
And he's a person.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
a person. So he could change his mind about hex tomorrow.
Yep.
God whale himself could dump on you.
Yeah.
What happens if God whale starts selling? Are you all going to run for cover or what you going to do? Because you got to think about this. God whale could sell to get a better price for himself. Right? So the way to deal with whales in the ecosystem is for the guppies not to be scared. If the guppies are scared, the whales control the system for forever.
Oh yeah.
You never get to be a whale being a scared guppy. So, you know, you got to think about that. There are wallets. There are controlling wallets in every single coin that can send any coin near zero.